This is still News Tonight, your election hub. Now, just how far can politicians go in their quest to win power? While some would want to pay their way through, others try to come down to the level of the voter in order to win their trust. Let's take you on a ride on how far people would go in their bid to win political power in this brief desk report.
From Barack Obama carrying a crying baby or Donald Trump picking up this child and allowing him to share the stage with him. Politicians have for years tried different antics just to woo voters to themselves during elections. In Ghana, we have seen President Nana Akufo-Addo drink Calipo during the 2016 electioneering period. This later went viral, leading to the Drink a Calipo challenge. Aside from drinking of Calipo, both President Akufo-Addo and former President Mahama have gone down to the level of ordinary Ghanaians to eat with them in their homes during campaigns to elections. Other politicians have engaged in acts such as braiding of hair by Ablekuma Central MP Okovandapoi, pounding of fufu by Ayawaso West Wogon NDC parliamentary candidate John Dumelo, and of course, the operation of a grinding mill by now NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia ahead of the 2016 elections. Some have gone to the extent of visiting shrines in their quest to show that they are with the people in whatever they do. The latest is the NDC's parliamentary candidate for Hohoe constituency, Thomas Bolanyo, who had to peel cassava in his bid to woo voters in the Zango communities. But will a politician eating with you or pounding your fufu for you make you vote for them?
And of course, that was a News Desk report giving you a better sense of how far politicians can go just to win power. Now, that was just the report that we put together. Let's now bring you a graphic presentation on some of the events that took place right from 2016 and even beyond up until now. And Vanessa Tutuadanso is just in the studio to bring us that presentation. Vanessa.
Absolutely, Joshua. Well, like you rightly stated, politicians, in their attempt to canvass for votes from electorate, embark on a lot of things. But we chose to highlight this ploy they employ because we find it a bit humorous. Now, let's go back to 2016, where this guy, he's called Thomas Wooney. He was campaigning for the seat in the Talensi constituency, and he and his delegates chose to go to the shrine because he believed it was going to win him the vote. So in the photo here is just he and his candidates or supporters at the shrine hoping to secure a win. And this happens to be the priest he and his team visited. So in 2016, of course, we all remember the popular Akufo-Addo's drinking Calipo challenge, where the president was spotted drinking Calipo, and this craze went just viral. Now, what made it more interesting was that ordinarily, just ordinarily, you would not see the president drinking Calipo. But in a bid to find or attach some relatability to the people that he wanted votes from, he had to employ this tactic. And clearly, it worked for him because in 2016, the NPP led by President Akufo-Addo won the elections. Of course, in 2016, again, we see a photo of he eating with people that ordinarily you wouldn't see him eating with. Of course, we are still on the Calipo Craze challenge, and of course, even Kufo bought into the idea and believed that, relating to the people by purchasing something as affordable as Calipo would help the NPP secure victory. This was a really big one. Still a photo of Akufo-Addo eating with some ordinary Ghanaians, as politicians like to address us, in a bid to secure a vote for the party. Now, in 2016, this is Okovandapoi, who was the mayor then, and then also the parliamentary aspirant for the Ablekuma Central constituency, Okovandapoi. In fact, before the elections, I didn't know this man could cook and do many other things. In this photo, he is seen helping cook. And not just that, he was also seen cooking banku, which ordinarily he would not do because, he would be served in a different environment. But here he is trying to paint a clear picture that, you know what, I am your typical servant. I am down to earth. I am approachable. I am relatable. I am just one of you. Hence, this tactic that he chose to employ. Still on him, he was seen braiding hair. I mean, just I think this is a bit interesting because how often do you see men braid? Well, there are men in the beauty industry, but to see a politician braiding hair in a bit to canvass for votes, that was a bit strange for us. Now, in 2016, Baumia found himself operating a grinding mill just to tell the electorate, you know what? I am no special Ghanaian. I am no special human being. I am just one of you. And I believe that, you know, we are all from the same ground. There is no difference between us. Hence, he found himself operating this grinding mill machine. This is Ivor Green Street of the CPP, where in 2016, he chose to go to the street to buy coconuts in a bit to canvass for votes, of course. Now, in a run-up to the 2020 elections, John Dumelo, who is the parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso West Bogon, chose to go into people's homes, knocking and canvassing for votes. And of course, in one of the tactics he chose to employ was to cook for people, assist in cooking. Clearly, he also found himself pounding people for other people. And on Twitter, he was quizzed when the elections were over and he lost. Why he stopped pounding for other people? He says that the lady he pounded the fufu for had relocated to Kaswa. In 2020, this is John Dramani Mahama in the build-up to the elections, eating openly with people that ordinarily he wouldn't. But they did secure votes for him. Unfortunately, it did not. Now, this is the very first one that happened earlier this year in 2024, where the honorable member for the Dom Kwabena constituency, Adjo Asafo, after being away for a very long time, thought it wise that, you know what, in a bid to get the constituent to forgive her and attach some level of relatability and support, she chose to be serving yogurts at a meeting. But the question is, did it secure votes for her? Unfortunately, it did not. So essentially, politicians will do anything and everything. Votes buying, giving of gifts, and of course, knocking, or door knocking, as political scientists would say, in order to secure vote. Now, Joshua, this reminds me of the song by Foster the People that says that. And I need you to back me on this. I will do anything for you. Da, 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 da. Absolutely. So that's what happened, really. And of course, the latest one being the Thomas Bolanyo, exactly, yes, peeling cassava.
That's quite interesting,
yeah,
because when you look at the issue of election campaign and political party campaign, it has become, it's actually an institutional feature in Ghanaian politics. And so we see these things happening. Political parties adopt strategies and certain methods to canvass for votes. Well, like you said, you will see the rallies. Now, rallies are done usually in their core constituencies. These are strategies. So we have the rallies being held in their core constituencies. Then you have the door-to-door canvassing of votes where they move to their constituents, they move to other places. That approach is also going to see some other dynamism there. But a lot of them have done some of these things and it didn't play to their advantage. We are wondering now in 2024, where the stakes are actually high, what will be the approach and the political campaign strategy that these two main political parties will put together? So if they would do anything for your vote, what would you do to also see who is going to gain your vote to stay in power?